Hi, it's Michael from Culture Talk and Tours, and I'm here this morning at the Diplomatic Quarter here in Taipei, Taiwan. I'm here to meet Ambassador Kattil from the Marshall Islands Embassy. We're going to learn a little bit more about her country and learn how we can get to the Marshall Islands. Let's go talk to the ambassador. Inside the embassy, we're outside waiting to speak to Ambassador Kattil at the Marshall Islands Embassy. Let's go speak to the ambassador. Hi, it's Michael, and I am here with Ambassador Kattil from the Marshall Islands. Lovely to see you again.
Good to see you. Always good to see you, Michael.
And we are going to learn a little bit about your country today. As you know, the focus of this program is the Ally Nations. And we've met with Ambassador Kattil many times at events, and we've talked about this visit. So first, let's talk about your flag.
Okay, sure. You want me to?
So we have the dark blue, orange, and white.
Yes, and then we have the stars.
Okay.
So the blue, because we're an island nation.
Yes.
We're a big ocean country.
Okay.
So this represents we're an ocean people.
Okay.
We're an island nation, so it represents the big ocean that surrounds us. Orange is, of course, the sun.
Yes.
And it also represents bravery and courage.
Okay.
Because at some point, before being a sovereign nation, we were occupied and
Yes.
we were governed by other nations.
Okay.
But our forefathers were brave and they fought for us to become an independent sovereign country.
Okay.
The white, we're a Christian nation.
Okay.
We were first discovered by the missionaries, so the white represents Christianity.
Okay.
And the stars, this star, the longer 4 points represents the 4 urban centers,
Okay.
the capital, and then the 3 others. And in total, there's 24 points, and they represent all of the constituencies or all of the islands that are inhabited.
Wow. So it's many islands. That's why it's Marshall Islands.
Yeah. So we're there's so many islands, small islands and atolls and islets that are scattered throughout the archipelago.
Okay.
But there's the main 24 districts.
Okay. So this is the flag, and then
Yes.
this is the
seal.
seal.
Yeah, this is the seal. Jibilibili engage again kind of just means working together and giving back.
Okay.
But this represents, canoe, because
Right.
we're voyagers. And
Right.
This is the ocean. And this is the stick chart because as I mentioned, we're scattered throughout the ocean,
Right.
archipelago. So our mode of transportation was through the ocean,
Right.
via the ocean and on canoes.
Okay.
And we're descendants of skilled navigators. And
Okay.
till to this day, we're one of the few. It's a traditional knowledge and skill that is passed down through the men's side, So the 6 chart is what they use to guide their way
To
when
navigate
to navigate
to the different islands.
different islands and even beyond the Marshall
Further.
Islands
Oh,
in
okay.
the region. So they look at the stars, they look at the waves, they look at the movement of the ocean, the wind, and then of course look at so this represents the stick chart that they used as navigation.
And I see the star up there
Yeah,
again.
this is the star here.
Okay.
And it's the same.
And a net.
And then the fishing net.
Yes.
Because we're fishermen.
We need
We're
to-
fisher folks.
We need to have fish.
Yeah, and this part right across the net is pounding rock.
Okay.
Because it's something that the woman passes down through the family because it's used to make medicine and it's used to make food. So it's an important item.
Okay.
And then the coconut tree,
Yeah.
because we're an island nation, and so it represents all of that.
Okay. And as you can see, you're wearing some of this jewelry that we often see you wearing.
Yes.
So it's different shells and
And it's so this fiber, or this part that is used to weave these, is from the coconut tree.
Okay.
And we also have what's a breadfruit tree and bananas trees that they use.
That they use
And
to.
of course, the coconut bark and the trees that we have, this is what they use to build the canoe.
Okay.
Yeah, but these are made by Marshallese women. The shells are, gathered from along the beach or in the water. And then this one, there's a process where the woman scrapes the leaves, kind of soaks them in salt water, put them under the sun.
Let them dry.
So it's long.
A whole process.
It's a whole process, and it's labor of love to
Yes.
make these beautiful. But these are traditional jewelry or ornament for
Yes.
women to wear.
And
we
they-
also have been made for men.
And they are beautiful. And every time we see Madam Ambassador at a reception, she comes in and she's wearing all of this. And all of her friends, the other ambassadors,
Yes.
when we saw Ambassador Bowman wearing one,
Yes.
I think she wore it
She
too.
looked like Cleopatra. She
Yes.
was very majestic and regal in them.
She wore like a black dress, I think it was to the
Yes.
Mexico reception, and then she just had this beautiful necklace on. And I said, "Where did you get that?" Even though I knew. And she said, "Marshall Islands." So I said, "We need to become friends."
Yeah.
So we're gonna see more of this jewelry and this kind of traditional craft.
I'd love to give you a tour.
You've got several things.
Welcome to the Marshall Islands in Taiwan.
Thank you. Let's go have a look.
Yes, this is made by a Marshallese woman. So the brown part is from the coconut, the pandanus.
Okay.
So it's a different kind of part of a tree.
And they're dyeing it naturally as well?
Yeah, it's all dyed. So if it's like this, it's not dyed.
No, that's
It's not
bleached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not bleached at
Like
all.
in the sun.
Yeah,
right?
in the sun.
Sun bleach.
And then I was talking to you about the stick chart.
Oh,
This is
okay.
what they use to navigate. But I'll show you a closer one.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is, I mentioned this, you saw this, but this is carved out of a tree in the Marshall Islands.
Wow.
So it gives you have the pounding rock.
Okay.
This is the net, this is the canoe. And of course, the coconut tree, the pandanus. This is the stick navigational chart. Of
Wow.
course, the stars.
And that is a big chunk of wood.
Yeah, and it's quite heavy.
Yeah.
Still looking for a place. But this is another type of a stick chart.
Okay.
And the shells, they represent all of these 24 points.
Okay.
So they represent all the islands that are
Wow.
scattered throughout the archipelago. And so the sticks and the way they run, they represent the movements of the waves.
Wow.
And this is what our traditional navigators use to sail from island to island
So
throughout times.
Would they have a smaller version of this?
They do. They have a smaller version.
Incredible.
Yeah, but this is what we did it. But this is blue, so it
For the
kind of
ocean.
gives you the ocean.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And this is the list of all of the.
So we officially opened this presence in February 9, 1999, and this is the delegation from the Marshall Islands. So it was a really big event, and the
Okay.
president and the first lady, they brought representatives from all through, not just government, but also the private sector. That's
Okay.
how important we. So all of this side is the people that came from the Marshall Islands, and then this is the delegation from Taiwan that was present at the opening of this embassy in
Wow.
1999.
So you've been here
Since 1999.
in
We
this.
established ties with Taiwan 25 years ago, actually, on the 20th. So we
Okay.
just celebrated 25 years this week.
Okay.
And then we opened it
We need
the
a party.
following year. Yeah.
She's busy. And then look at all of this. Wow.
Yeah, so these are just
Incredible.
this is from a different kind of shell, and this is very unique because it can only be found on one specific island.
Okay.
So it makes it very unique because it's not like, cause this kind of shell or the shell, you can find it all over the islands.
Right.
And this is also a necklace. This is something that the Marshallese are also well known for. These are flowers.
Wow.
You can either wear it like this or you can wear it over your ears. That the Marshallese ladies also make. And then they kind of fashion this holder thing.
So it's like a little arrangement that
Yeah.
you can put on your
So
table.
it looks like a flower bouquet.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And then this is, we're also very well known for this.
So
This
if you
was
go there,
actually-
you can purchase all of these if you
Yeah,
go?
if you
Okay.
come to the Marshall Islands, you
Okay.
can purchase all this. This is one of our famous bags. It's a lady's bag. It's called the bikini bag.
Bikini?
Kale bag.
Okay.
And this was made famous because Jacqueline Onassis,
Oh,
she was gifted this by our president, and then she was pictured wearing, carrying it around, and she was a fashionista.
yes, she
So
was.
she was on the cover.
Oh,
But,
that's interesting.
This is called a kale bag because the ladies of Bikini Atoll, one of the atolls, were the first ones to put this together. But this is really fine weaving,
Hmm.
and this is because when the U.S. During our nuclear legacy era,
Yes.
they moved the people of Bikini to the island of Kale. The women made these, and this is what they sold to try to make a living for their
Yeah.
own people. Because Kale is an island where not a lot of crops grow, and yeah,
They
so
need
this
some
is very
industry.
famous. And the fine weaving, because you'll see the difference between the types of weaving.
And it opens from the side?
Yeah, you open it like this, and inside is a mat.
Oh, wow. Good.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, so inside is a mat. But it's-
Wonderful.
Yeah, this is a special kind of weaving. This is another kind of basket that we Marshallese women make. So these are also shell, and you use this to keep your treasures.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is.
So beautiful.
And then
And it's so tight, too. They're really having to.
yeah, and then this is actually something for men.
Put it on my head.
Yes, let me see if,
Oh,
sorry,
it's on
sorry, it
my
might be a
nose.
little bit too big for you, or too small, I mean. So it's a tie,
Wow.
and then you just adjust it like this. So it's usually for men.
Look at that.
Mm.
And it's quite heavy, too, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a lot
some
of
are,
shells.
some are light, some are heavy.
It's a lot of shells.
This is something this is a coaster.
Uh-huh.
You can use it as a coaster. This is a replica. This
So
is
it's like the
made-
traditional boat?
Yeah, it's like one of our canoes. So we have a smaller one just for two people, for the men to go out fishing, and then
Right.
enough space to bring in food. There's also a bigger version of this, but you can see this is all made from materials that we find on the islands. This is made from the coconut tree and other trees, the body of it. And then the women, they weave the sail.
The little sail.
Yeah,
So nothing is wasted.
nothing is wasted.
No.
Yeah. And these are just types of person wallets.
And that's got like a kind of batik inside?
Yes, this one they did a boutique. Instead of doing the mat, they kind of did.
That's
this
beautiful,
inside.
too.
Yeah.
So you do have textiles and fabrics there as well?
Yeah, we don't make them. We usually get them from our neighbors in Fiji and Samoa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have their textiles and fabric, but
And this is one.
traditionally, and this is usually a bigger one. So on Sundays, Marshallese women will like to take around their bigger bags because they put their Bible books and stuff
Oh,
and go to
okay.
church, and their fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this you
but
can...
this is like a wallet that you can put inside,
Right.
but it matches the
Yeah.
horse.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
And I like this fish as well.
yeah, this fish, and it's moving, and it's got a shell.
A big shell there.
Yeah, and it's made from different parts of trees and stuff, and these are just like
Those are
little
great
stars.
too.
Yeah.
And this is a smaller version.
Yeah, this is a smaller version of the stick chart that I had mentioned. This one up here is called the Javier, and this is actually really, really fine weaving. And yeah, because you can see it's like, so we're very well known, and we're one of the few that have this type of weaving. There's different types of weaving. So like for the mat that we use to lay in, or in like a living room rug, it's more it's not as fine woven like this.
So detailed, right?
And traditional, there's for the royal family, they make them into, because they wear them like a skirt,
Okay.
almost like the Taiwan's. But yeah.
And when we attended the Tuvalu reception, they had the gift to the minister. We had the gift to the minister was a large one, and it was like a family heirloom.
Yes.
So when you would have this, you would keep this.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like a family heirloom.
So it could be like a wedding gift that the mom would give.
Or when a baby is born.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's a female. And then they.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
And then this
I'm very
is.
proud.
Yeah, no, it's so
These
wonderful.
are just wall hangings that they made. So it's, they make it into bigger.
And this is similar to the one that we saw outside.
Yeah, this is similar to the one that you saw inside. And they dyed this part here to represent the colors of the flag.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they kind of did that. This is a traditional one with.
And do you have any students that are here in Taiwan that are doing this?
The one that was just taking our picture is a master's student.
Right.
Her husband is being trained at Shuangho. He graduated from Hiseo Medical University, so now he's doing a specialty.
Okay.
He's being trained to be an internist.
Okay.
And she's and then, but I have around 60 students here.
Okay. And are any of them doing this that we could do a live sometime?
Maybe sometime when we have an event, they can do. Some of them can do it like the symbol weaving, where we make the food baskets and
That
things
would
like
be
that.
would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And this is so interesting too. You've got the
We've got the
flags.
fans. So these are our traditional fans, and then they colored them to represent.
So
So
you
this
got
is the color of the Marshall Islands, and I have Taiwan here.
wow.
Yeah.
So did you have that made?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have this made, and it's welcome.
And another one here.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, even just in.
In the we haven't even
You've
we
got
do
it.
have quite a lot of.
We've got it
handicrafts.
spread out
We're
around.
very proud of this, and we want to preserve this traditional skill that we have. And
Yeah.
you know, unfortunately, with climate change, it's also threatening this
Right.
because you've noticed we collect this. It's from either our trees or our leaves, and then this is being affected by climate change with sea
Right.
level rise and with the ocean inundating our shores, and our crops are being affected because the soil is getting too salty.
Right.
And these crops take long years to grow, like coconut trees, and
Yeah.
they don't grow overnight. And
No.
banana trees and our breadfruit trees and these things that we use to build our canoes and make these beautiful artwork are being slowly being affected by climate change.
Yeah.
We're living. It's already threatening food security and also our ability to create.
And some of your smaller islands maybe are, even with the tides, are being affected.
Yeah, with sea level rise, it's land erosion, so we're losing land mass,
Yeah.
and we're slowly we're finding already needing to adapt to the impacts, the devastating impacts, because we're just 2 meters above sea level, and with sea level rise, it's getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
We're getting more and more king tides where the waves just come in and
Mhm.
over our seawalls into our homes, and you know, during king tide times, and people evacuate their homes.
Yeah.
And we, to this day, we had a couple of months just before I came, we had a king tide event, and some people were displaced, and they're still displaced to this day.
So it's happening now. It's not something that.
It's not something that will happen in the future.
Yeah.
And
It's happening now.
It's happening now. And
Yeah.
we may be first. We're on the front of the front lines
Yeah.
of this fight, but we may be first. But it's going to affect all of us. So it takes all of us to
But
come together
thankfully,
to combat.
thankfully, we've got a lot of Pacific nations that are ally nations with Taiwan,
Yes.
and Taiwan's an island as well,
Yeah.
and we need to work together to
Yeah.
solve this.
Yeah, and Tuvalu and the Marshall Islands, and of course Nauru, and the Tuvalu and Marshall Islands, they're the atoll nations. We're the low-lying atolls. We don't
Yeah.
have mountains,
Right.
so we have nowhere else to go.
No.
And that's why we're very strong in the international arena when it comes to speaking out about the need to urgently address the issue of climate change.
And there's a big conference in Dubai next
Yeah,
week.
there's a big conference. We are always at those meetings.
Okay.
Even at the historic Paris, we were very, our delegation and our minister at that time actually was instrumental in ensuring that the Paris Accord was signed.
Yes.
So although they like to say we're a small island nation, we have a moral authority, and that's why we have a strong voice.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I love to showcase our traditional art.
Yes.
And because they're being affected.
Yeah.
You know, if we go underwaters, this all goes.
This is gone, yeah.
this
It
is gone.
fades. So I think it's important to people that are watching from Western nations or that are near the sea that this is happening and we need to do something about it.
Yeah, it's an existential threat that is being posed on people like the Marshallese people, the Palauan, the
Yes.
Tuvaluans, and the Nauruans, and other Pacific Island nations.
Okay.
And the low-lying atolls like the Marshall Islands, we're at the front, and we're
Yeah.
already suffering from the impacts, and these impacts are devastating.
Yeah.
Especially for small developing countries like ours.
So at some point when you do have a conference, I was speaking to the ambassador from Tuvalu. I would like to join because I think that some people really want to know what they can do to help,
Yeah.
because we know about pollution and if we go to the beach to bring back more than what we went there with, but what else can we do? So
Sure.
I think we need to educate people as well.
Yeah. Recently, there was a climate change summit here.
Right.
And we participated. But yeah, definitely, we're hoping to come together as Pacific Island countries here in Taiwan to really do more awareness
Yeah.
on the climate change, because it's maybe a little bit distant from the consciousness of people in countries where the impact of climate change is not providing a disturbance to their
Right.
daily lives.
No.
But for countries like ours, and climate change, we're maybe at the front lines, like I said, but it's going to eventually, and we're already seeing it with around the globe with
Yeah.
forest fires and
Yeah.
natural extreme weather events that
Yeah.
are unprecedented.
You've got a drought, you've got a flood.
Yeah,
We can't keep up.
yeah.
Yeah, so it is happening.
It's important to speak about it now, and it's going to take the whole of the universe to come together, all the
Yeah.
countries to come together to combat it, to
Right.
be able to save humanity.
And you've seen what's being affected, so
Yes, and it's an accidental threat. It's
yeah,
actually threatening our existence.
yeah,
Yeah, and all of these beautiful cultures that exist within the Pacific region are at stake of
Yeah.
being no more.
right.
So that's why we want to, showcase, because I think we add beauty to the world.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Very welcome.
Let me take this. I don't want to walk out with it. You know when you try something on and then you're
You
like,
can wear it.
yeah, I can wear it. Okay. And you've got more.
Yeah.
This is your national anthem.
This is our national anthem, so
Okay.
it's in Marshallese, but this is the translation of it.
Okay.
And it was actually composed by our first president.
Wow.
And so this is the description of the flags.
Right.
So it says the deep blue black background represents the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
The white and orange band represents the Raleigh, which is the sunrise, and Radak sunrise and Raleigh sunset shades, because
Okay.
in the Marshall Islands, where the islands there separated by Raleigh chain and Radak chain. Because
Okay.
and so Radak means sunrise and then Raleigh means sunset. So these also represent those.
Beautiful.
The customary symbolism of orange as the color of bravery and white as the color of peace and Christianity are also recognized in the white and the orange. The star represents the cross of Christianity, with each of the 24 points signifying a municipal district of the RMI. And then the 4 main points are the major centers.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful flag.
Yeah, and then this is the
There's your seal.
seal, and it gives you a translation of
Oh, does
description of the seal.
Okay.
If you wanted to take
Yeah, we'll
some
take a
more
photo.
elaborate.
We'll take a
I
photo
gave
of
you
that.
like a quick description, but this is more elaborate
Okay, we can take a
description
picture
of
of
the
that.
seal. And then this is the our national anthem. These are the notes and these are the words.
And we'll hear that at your National Day.
And our National Day.
I won't miss it. I missed it this year, but I won't miss it next year.
Yeah, and this is just some things of, if you come to the Marshall Islands, it gives you an opportunity, best diving experience.
Yes.
We have some amazing marine lives, and also we're a site of the Second World War was also fought
Right.
in our country when the Americans came. So we have some remnants and relics
Yes.
of the war.
A lot of-
Underwater, you can also see those as
Right.
well. And then this is just a aerial view of this is the capital city. So
Right.
you'll see how we're a flat, and we have very small land space, and we have this big ocean that sustains us.
Right.
Because we travel we use this to travel to get to each other, but we use it to also get our food.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ocean is very important to us, but right now, with climate change, it's threatening to eat us alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something that gives can also take.
These are just some plans, and then maybe we can come here now. This is
Okay.
currently our president.
Okay.
His name is President Kamoa.
Okay.
And this is the president that was before him,
Okay.
President Melba, and she was actually the first female woman. She was the first woman to be elected head of state in
Oh.
all of the Pacific.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then after her election, historical election, you saw other female leaders being elected as heads of state,
Okay.
like in New Zealand, and
Yes.
so it's a very important moment.
And have
for
they
the country.
visited Taiwan?
He, he visited, President Kabul has been able to visit Taiwan, I think, 3 times thus far.
Okay.
He did a state visit, and then he's come subsequent times
Okay.
as a visitor and for medical checkup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then this is the first president, President Kabul, and he's, we call him our founding father, but he fought for this nation to be independent and sovereign, and he's actually the father of our current president.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then this is his cousin, and he was the second president.
Okay.
And they're also members of the royal family, so they're Irosh Lablab. Their title Irosh Lablab means paramount chief.
Okay.
And then this is our third president. He's still a serving politician. He's been in our parliament for around 40 years. President Note, and then our late former president with the name is also on. So you'll see the title Irosh.
Right.
He's a traditional leader as well.
Okay.
This one is the fourth one, July Lamona. He's also our paramount chief. Late. Currently a Hiroshima, the paramount chief, super loyal, and then former President Kiston.
He's very young.
Yeah,
Young.
he was my former foreign minister.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And what is the total population of the Marshall Islands?
So there's around almost 70,000 Marshallese.
Oh wow.
But the latest census, there's maybe around just under 40,000 that are currently living in the Marshall Islands. We did have a lot of, because we have a special treaty with the U.S. where we can travel freely and live and work in the United States.
Right.
We did have a lot of people migrating.
Yes.
And we still have a lot of people migrating to the States.
In California.
Normally, they go for education and health.
Right.
But then we're seeing more and more people going because of, the impacts of climate change is
Yeah.
also a main reason why we're seeing more and more people migrating outside of the RMI.
And there's whole areas in California where it's just all Marshall Islands.
So right now we're scattered all throughout the United States. Arkansas actually
Oh really?
has the most number of Marshalls
Wow.
there. At one point it used to be California, but then the high cost of living, right now we have the most Marshallese in the state of Arkansas, in the
Okay.
United States. Yeah.
So that's a bit of a shock to the system too with the climate,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
quite, and that's what also this series you know, we don't want a brain drain from Taiwan of people going to California or going somewhere. We want them to stay here. And I was speaking to Ambassador Bowman from St. Vincent the Grenadines. You know, you're training here, you go back, you help make your country better. Because people don't want to leave their country. They want to.
And that's why with the climate change debate, the conversation, because I think there are those that say, oh, if your nation comes underwater, you can always move. But we don't want to move.
No, we don't want to move.
We don't want to talk about migration.
No.
We want to be able to live on our islands.
And with your family, because this is separating families. You've got grandma and grandpa that don't want to leave, and younger members of the family that do. And
in our culture, we're closely tied to our land.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not to be able to live there. You know, we don't want to be pilgrims.
No.
And we value nothing more than to be able to live on our islands.
Yeah.
And that's all we're asking.
Yeah. And California I can understand because it's, you know, not a short flight but shorter.
Yeah.
But Arkansas, that's that's shocking.
It is. Yeah, a lot of people are surprised when they say it's Arkansas. But in Springdale, it's a little bit more easier to, especially if you're going with, you're not necessarily high skilled.
Right.
And they have, it's easy to find a job.
Some
and
industry.
living.
Right.
And it's not
I'll have
as
to.
exorbitant the cost of living, and not as exorbitant as they are in California.
Right. And do you have, when I was speaking to the ambassador from Tuvalu, he was also saying a lot are going to Fiji and New Zealand. Do you have that as well? Or
Not more so. We
Hawaii or?
migrate to the United States and Honolulu.
Yeah.
Not more so. Not we don't have a lot going to the south.
No.
We do have some citizens, but they're mostly students in Fiji.
Right.
But and then New Zealand and Australia, we don't. If we have folks there, we have a few, just a handful that are living in Australia, but they're married into the Australian. But in terms of moving there,
Yeah. No.
mostly the United States.
Because Marshall Islands is closer to the U.S., whereas.
And then we have this special treaty with them where we don't need a visa; we can
Right.
just go.
Right.
And we're free to live and go
And
to
work,
school
or,
and
yeah.
seek medical care. We
Okay.
have a special category
Right.
where we don't apply for a green card or anything.
Like similar to Guam and
Yeah.
Saipan and.
Yeah, well, Saipan and Guam, they're citizens of the United States because
Right.
they're Commonwealth, so
Right.
they have. But we're not citizens of the United States, but through the Compact of Free Association that we have, which is
Right.
a treaty, one of the privileges that we were entitled to under the compact is that they were able to travel freely
Okay.
and live and study in the United States, and we don't need a visa to do that. We travel freely.
And Palau is included in that?
Yeah, the freely associated states. So Palau, Marshall Islands, and Federated States of Micronesia, the North Micronesian countries, we're called the freely associated states because we each have compact treaties with the United States,
Okay.
and they have similar privileges.
Yes.
They also have this privilege of traveling freely.
And they also were doing a lot during COVID where, you know, vaccines were available
Yeah.
there when they weren't available.
Yeah,
Here.
the United States was really good in terms of helping the RMI prepare,
Yeah.
and Palau and Visa. So when they had vaccinations, they were very helpful in terms of providing those to us.
And that's why their levels were so low as well.
Yeah, so we immediately closed off our borders as soon as the COVID came about because
Right.
we weren't in no way prepared, but through
No.
the kind support of the United States government as well. Because Taiwan was also very helpful
Right.
in terms of providing us capacities and capabilities to be able to prepare for and be able to combat
Right.
the virus when it finally came into our shores.
Right.
But with vaccination, by the time we got COVID, most of the population were vaccinated.
Yeah.
So it came,
Mm-hmm.
it spread like wildfire, like we had known. That's why we were
Right.
quick to shut our borders off, because
Right.
we're close knit, and we have average people in a home is at least 7.
Right.
So it spread quickly throughout the country, but very minimal impacts.
Yeah, because
We
you
did
were
lose several people that lost their lives, less than 10.
right.
But mostly because I think they came too late. But overall, I think with the support of partners, we did a really good job in handling COVID.
Yeah, it wasn't as strong.
Yeah, so, but unfortunately with our citizens that were living overseas, we did see a lot of our own that passed away from COVID. This was before, when it first came out, and there was no vaccination.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we did see a lot of our own people die from COVID, especially in Arkansas, and where we have a lot of
I have to
citizens.
look at that up more because I've never even. I knew it was California. I even.
At one point, it was California in Costa Mesa, and throughout the years,
It's changed.
yeah,
And this is President Tsai with the.
President Hilda
So the.
during our state visit. I think this is
Oh, okay.
in Taiwan, showcasing AI.
Yes.
Yeah, the capabilities. But
And more of these beautiful
yeah.
artifacts. Oh, you even have like a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, these are Christmas ornaments that are made out of crafts. So when next time we come, we'll have our tree.
Okay.
Yeah, but these make these into Christmas ornaments.
Wow.
So this is like an angel.
Wow.
Yes. I'll put my Christmas tree up with all of our handicrafts, and then you can come back and
Then
take
you
a
can
picture.
see it. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have something like a treasure like that from a trip.
Yeah.
I try to do that actually.
Yeah.
So this is your boardroom meeting room.
This is our conference
Okay.
room.
Okay.
This is an ancient tool. This is an ancient tool. You use it to plow the garden.
Right.
And plants.
Wow.
These are kitchen.
And these shells are so huge.
Yes, so you have shells that are very tiny, and then you have, they get really big.
Wow.
And some get really big.
And I love that you framed everything.
Yes. This is when we celebrated 20 years of diplomatic relations. So these, we did commemorative stamps.
Oh,
This
okay.
is just that launch. But these are the presidents that established the ties. This is our second president that I mentioned.
And I don't know if you can see, it's the mat is your woven.
Yeah, and then these
That's
are the
cool.
commemorative stamps. So
Cool.
I put that there to kind of commemorate that. I'm sorry
So-
about my office.
Current president here.
That's the current
Current
president. This
president.
is my office.
Wow.
I've just come, so I don't have enough
Look at
anything
this.
here. But sorry about the mess.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is woven, and I had them write that just so they can put words on the mat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you see the flowers.
So that one's new.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is just.
Because
My office is very humble. I'm kind of ashamed of it.
but you've only been here for
A couple of months.
couple of
Yeah.
months, right.
Hopefully, next time you come, it'll be more set up. I haven't really had time. I've been busy going around trying to introduce myself to everybody
Yes,
here.
I've seen that on some of the other embassies, the website
Yeah.
where they get a visit from you.
Yeah.
And
You should follow our Facebook page, my friend.
okay,
Yeah.
I think-
Follow our page.
follow. Okay,
And
and
come visit the Marshall Islands.
I'm trying to get you on Instagram too.
We have an Instagram. I personally need to sign up for Instagram.
Yes.
So that I can, but I guess I think I'll have her share
Okay.
the QR code. I
We'll
think.
put some.
But we have an Instagram page and a Facebook page. It
And-
doesn't have a huge following, but hopefully more
Yes.
soon.
And then if you have any sort of event, we'll come to that and cover it.
Yeah. And
And
next year we're hoping we'll be celebrating our 45th Constitution Day.
okay.
It's in May, and I'm hoping to host a reception here.
Okay.
So
Anything with students?
yes.
Anything with climate change?
We want to showcase the Marshall Islands, including the impacts of climate change, and also as a moment to honor our forefathers who were brave enough. You know, there was a lot of people naysayers that say you cannot be on your own, but
Right.
look at us now. We're an independent nation. We're a member of the United Nations. We have one vote, just like the rest of the other countries.
Yeah.
And we're able to, determine our own destiny.
Yeah.
And we value the principles of democracy, freedom, and human rights.
Yes.
And we respect everybody's sovereignty and everybody's ability to determine for their own, their own nation's destiny. That's all we ask.
And we're hoping to get a more direct flight to visit there.
Yes. Right now there's you can fly from here to Palau and then connect from Palau to the Marshall Islands.
Okay. So that's easier than going to Guam,
It might be
Korea before.
more economical.
Yes.
But you can still get to the Marshall Islands right now by traveling to either Korea or Manila,
Okay.
transiting through there and getting to Guam, and then Guam to my country. Or you
Okay.
can make your way here, from here to Honolulu via either Japan or Korea and Manila as well. But usually I think Japan is easier. And then going straight from Hawaii to
Okay.
Marshall Islands.
And then also we hope to see you at the International Travel Fair next year.
Yes.
Everyone-
Yeah,
We want to
reached out to them because
Yeah.
I think this year they might have overlooked inviting us, but next year
Yes.
we definitely want to showcase the RMIS.
Yes.
We have a very unique history.
Yeah.
We have a unique culture. I think that's our niche. I think countries in the Pacific, we may not have a lot of big infrastructure, but we have our culture, our unique way of life, and I think if you want to experience that, definitely come to our islands.
Yeah.
And we have the most beautiful beach you'll ever find in the world. We have, the beautiful Pacific Ocean just in our backyard.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Best seafood and the most beautiful, loving people that
You've already sold me on it. When I haven't been to Marshall Islands, as you know, but when I did go to Palau, they don't have a city bus or anything, so you just use these kind of call taxis, and we were having to do the COVID test. And because I was a foreigner, people thought I was American military, and they couldn't believe I was Canadian. And they would offer to give you a ride. Where are you going? Where are you going? And then we would go. They had a Friday kind of like night market, and different foods. And if you were even going in that direction, you hop in the back of a pickup truck, or just wonderful.
Yeah.
And
the most hospitable people you'll find are the ones in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want to know, if you went to some famous restaurant for barbecue, the next day they were asking you, how was it? What did you have? You should have got that. So it was wonderful.
Yes.
And if you do go to if you are included in the travel fair next year, St. Vincent and Grenadines had a big map, which I think is important, and they showed how the flights work, how you can fly from Toronto. So I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
But we'll talk.
Great idea.
We'll talk before that. So, from Michael here at Culture Talk and Tours and Ambassador Kattil.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the visit. Yes, it was lovely.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Come back again.
Thank you.
Yes,
We will.
And then hopefully next time we'll actually be videoing from on the beach in the Marshall
We'll
Islands.
do that.
Yeah.
And the camera person,
Yeah.
she's up. Daisy's
Yes,
up for that
definitely.
as well. Okay, the three of us
camera
will go.
person will come along.
And you also said when you have your own private jet,
Yes.
I'm helping you.
Yes, and that's a goal.
Yeah, that's on camera
It's
now.
on camera now.
Thank you so much.
You trapped me into that.
Yes,
So.
thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much.
And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you.